In this video, we will walk through a complete demonstration of how any timesheet user can request for adding a new primary or secondary skills in their profile, and also how they can raise a request for updating their competency in the database. Also, we'll be covering how a project manager can raise a request for adding a new competency and new skill to database. So first of all, let us log in with any timesheet user. So I'll be logging with one of the timesheet users, which as we see is Srikanth Reddy. So we'll be expanding the left-hand navigation panel and we'll just click on My Profile. So under My Profile, if you scroll to Skills and Certifications, we do have an option to add new skill for any employee. So any employee can raise a request for adding a new skill into their skill set. So we'll just click on Add New Skill. And here we see that a slider menu has got open. So we can see that first of all, we need to choose the skill type, whether this is a primary skill or a secondary skill. So we'll just go ahead with choosing the skill type as primary. Then basis on the selection of your skill type, if there is already an existing mapping for this employee in the database, then the skill family and competency will be auto-fetched from the backend. So skill family is digital experience and the competency is agile consulting. And based on the selection of skill family and competency, we can go ahead and choose skill category. So let us choose the skill category as business analysis and we can choose the skill name as ceremonies. Now let us go ahead and choose the domain. So let us go ahead and choose accounting and tax preparation as the domain. For skill last used, so this is the date on which the skill is last used. So this is currently in use. So we can just pick today's days and we can also toggle this button to yes. So if the skill that is related to this user is not currently in use, then we can keep it to no. And if we toggle this to yes, in that case, the skill is being used currently by the user. Now we just need to update the relevant experience the user has for his primary skill. So let us enter any non-zero value. So we'll just enter 5 years and 10 months. Then we need to choose the proficiency for this skill category for this employee. So basis on the knowledge, the user can go ahead and fill in the proficiency. So we'll just choose 3 specialist. Now there is also a provision if the logged in user has any certification, so he can also go ahead and attach the certification details in this section. So by default, this is toggle to no. So if you toggle this to yes, then certain more fields becomes available. So first of all, the user needs to enter the certification name. So let's keep it as .NET Framework 4.5 Brainbench. Then we just need to update the issuing authority. So let's keep Microsoft. Then certification badge link is not a mandatory field. So if you have some certification link, you can just upload the link. So we'll just not be uploading any link for now. And then we need to attach one certification just as to, and also we need to attach one certification. So whatever certification the employee has obtained can be attached here. So we'll just click on attach. And I will just search for the certification name. And here we have the certification and we can just go ahead and upload the certification. Now also the user has to fill in the proficiency in the obtained certification. So since he is an expert, so we can go ahead and choose this as an expert. So there is a field called Associated Certificate and Partner Portal. So for any of the alliance partners, if you have, then you can toggle this to yes. We'll just keep it as no for now. Now we can go ahead and choose who has sponsored the certification. So whether it is Yash sponsored, self-sponsored, or client sponsored. So let us go ahead and choose self-sponsored. And we can also enter the certification award date. So let us choose 31st March as the certification award date. And if the certification has an expiration date, then you can just go ahead and toggle this to yes. And in that case, you just need to enter the expiry date of the certification. Keep it as no. And the employee also needs to enter some comments for adding in a new skill into their skill set. So employee can just simply add, and these are like optional comments, so we can also skip that. But so if we click on save, in that case, what will happen is this request will be saved in the form of draft. So we'll just be landed back to my profile page, and we'll just click on this down arrow button. So here we can see that a new request that we have generated will be in draft. Now we can, if we can, we just want to view it, we can just click on view, and everything will be available in a read-only mode. But if you want to edit anything in the request, then in that case you just need to click on the edit button. If you click on discard, in that case you will be headed back to the previous screen. And if again you click on edit, and if you click on submit, in that case this request will be submitted to project manager for approval. So now let us log in with project manager and approve this request. So I'll be logging in with the project manager. We can go to left and right navigation panel, actions, and then skill approvals. So whatever skills which are coming under project manager's bucket will be seen in skill approvals. So we can see that the first request in the table is for employee Srikanth Reddy Chintala, for which we have just submitted the request for adding a new skill into their primary skill database. So we'll just click on this ID and we can just open and review all the details. So the project manager has a view only for the entire form that has been submitted by the user. The project manager can enter the comments and can either reject this. If this is rejected, in that case, this request will be again routed back to the user. If this is sent back by the project manager, in that case, this will not be discarded. This will still show as an entry into their skill set, and the user can edit the submitted skill set request and can resubmit it back to the project manager. And if the project manager wants to approve it, then this can be approved. So let us enter project manager's comment and click on approve. Now this request is approved, so this will be routed to the resource manager for further approval. So for this employee, the resource manager, which is mapped to the employee, will be the one who will be approving this request. So let us log in with the resource manager. So this resource manager mapping with employee can be seen from the backend, and basis on that, we can go ahead and improve the skill request by logging in with the concerned resource or the associated resource manager. So we can just simply expand the left-hand navigation menu. We can click on actions, and then we can click on skill approvals. So we can see that the skill approval request has come in for approval. So this is the view for RM. So he can also filter basis on the request type and also basis on the status of the request. Now we can go ahead and click on the request. So again, this will not be open in non-editable mode for the resource manager as well, and the resource manager can review the information and can either reject it, send it back, or approve it. So let us go ahead and approve it. So we can enter the resource manager's comment and we can just click on approve. After this is approved from the skill manager, this will be going to learning and development team, because whenever if we are raising a request for addition of a primary skill, in that case, If we have attached a certification, then it will be routed to the learning and development team. But if the certification is not attached, in that case, this will be routed to directly the talent management team for approval. So since we have attached a certification, so this will be routed to the learning and development team. So let us log in with learning and development team and we can approve this request further. The details of the L&D team, and we are logged in as one of the members of the L&D team. So we'll just click on the left-hand navigation panel. We can click on actions and then we can click on skill approvals. So this is the skill approvals grid for L&D team. And in the first entry of the table is for the user, we have just enter skill approval request. So we'll just click and open this. And again, all the details in the form will be read-only and disabled, and any member from the L&D team cannot edit it. They can either save it, reject it, send it back, or approve it. And if they click on reject, then this will be rejected. If they click on send back, in that case, this will be sent back to the user. And if they click on approve, in that case, this will be approved. Now, since this is approved by the L&D team, now the next role which needs to approve it finally so that the skill set will be added to the employee's primary skills will be the talent management team. So now we'll be logging in with the talent management team. So this is one of the users who has this is one of the users who is a part of the talent management team. So we just again click on the left-hand navigation panel. We'll click on actions and then skill approvals. So we can see that this is the request we have generated for skill set approval. We can just open this and again the form will be in read-only mode and the talent management team member can reject it, send it back or approve it. So we'll just enter the comments as approved and click on approve. So we can see that the request is approved successfully. Now we'll head back to the user's login and we'll just need to refresh the page. And now we can check whether the skill set request has been approved or not. So we can see that the status has been updated to approved. So the request raised by the employee to add a skill set into its primary skill have been approved and will now be added to the primary skill of the user. Now, in the similar way, we can also go ahead and add a new skill into their secondary skill set. So let us go ahead and see how this can be done. So we'll choose the skill type as secondary for now. And basis on that, you need to choose the competency, skill category, and skill name. And the skill family will be a disabled field, which will be by default populated whenever we choose a competency. So let us go ahead and choose competency for the user. So let us go ahead and choose Ariba. So basis on the competency selection, now we can see that the value of the skill family feed has been populated. So this is coming from the mapping in the backend. Now we can go ahead and choose skill category and skill name basis on the skill family and competency selected. So we will choose the skill category and then we can choose the skill name. So both these fields will have a cascading effect. So basis of your skill category, all the values in the skill name will be populated. So now we need to go ahead and choose the domain. So let us choose the domain as accounting and tax preparation. We can choose the date on which the skill was last used. So let's mark this as 31st of April. And this is currently in use or not. So let us keep it as no. Now we need to enter the relevant experience. So we can enter the relevant experience as any non-zero number. So let us do it as 3 years and 5 months. Then we also need to choose the proficiency for the logged in user. So let's mark it as expert. Then we have attached the certification when we were creating a request for updating the primary skill set. So we'll keep this as no for now. And we can just click on save. So we can see that now in the table, again, an entry got generated and the skill type is secondary. So if you want to view the information, you can just hover over to view and click on view. And in that case, you'll be able to view this information. So let us click on edit and this form will open again. And we can simply submit the request for approval. So in case when the employee is raising a request for adding a secondary skill set into their profile. In that case, this will be routed directly to the talent management team. And after the talent management team approves this, this can be added to the employee's secondary skill set. So now let us log in with one of the members of the talent management team. We'll expand the left-hand navigation panel. We'll click on actions and then skill approvals. So the first entry in the table we can see is for Shrikant Chintala Reddy. So we'll just open this request. We can see that all the details in the form is read only. So the talent management team can verify the details in the form and they can reject this, send this back or approve it. So we'll just approve it for now. So we'll click on approve and we can see that the request is approved successfully. And also if you go and check the status here, the status is approved. So let us go back to the user's login and then let's refresh the screen. And now we'll again go back to the table and expand this. So we can see that the status has been updated from approval pending from talent management team to approved. So this is how a user can request an addition of new primary and secondary skills into their profiles, and this is how this will be routed to approval for different roles. Now there's also an option called update competency. So if the logged in user wants to go ahead and update the competency which is already associated with the logged in user, they can just click on this update competency. So here the employee needs to choose the new competency they which they want to be mapped to them. So we'll just choose the new competency as pre-sales, and basis on that the skill family is already updated. So this is digital experience. So for pre-sales agile consulting, the skill family will be digital experience. Now going ahead, basis on the selection of skill family and competency, the user can go ahead and choose the skill category, which is proposal management, and then the skill name. Now we can again go ahead and enter the relevant experience. So we'll enter 8 years, 2 months. We just need to choose the proficiency again. So we'll just click on specialist and we can either discard this or submit this request. So let's go ahead and click on submit. So as soon as you click on submit, you can see that a success message has come that competency request has been generated. And when we again go back to the table, we can see that the approval is pending from the project manager. So let us go ahead and log in with the project manager and we can go ahead and approve this update competency request. So we are logged in with the project manager. We'll just click on the left-hand navigation panel, actions, and then skill approvals. So the first entry in the table is the competency change request we have just initiated. So we'll just open this and we can see that the entire details the user has submitted will be available in read-only mode. And project manager can either reject the request or approve it. So we'll just approve it for now. So we'll just enter the comments. Although this is not mandatory, but let's enter this and we can click on approve. So after this is approved, we can go back and check from the employee's profile where the resource will be mapped to again. So now this is approval pending from resource manager. So for this user, whosoever will be the tagged resource manager will go ahead and approve this request. So let us log in with the resource manager for this user. And this information can be obtained from the backend. We'll be logging in with the resource manager. We can click on home, actions, and skill approvals. So here we can see that the competency request has been routed to the desired resource manager, which is tagged to the employee. So we'll just open the request. And here also the entire details is available in the form and the entire information is read only. So resource manager can approve and then reject it. So we'll just click on approve and we can see that the change request has been accepted successfully. Now, after this, we will go ahead, check where the request has been routed to. This information can be reviewed from the employee's profile. This is approval pending from resource management group. So now we'll be logging in with the resource management group to approve this request further. So let us log in with RMG. So we are logged in with the resource management group team. Let us click on the left-hand navigation panel, actions and then skill approvals. So we can see that the first entry here is also the competency change request we have raised for the employee Shrikant Reddy. So we'll just open up this request. And again, for this RMG group, the form will be disabled and read only, but there's an additional field which will be available for updating the competency. Since you're updating the competency and each competency is tagged to a resource manager, so if the competency you are going ahead and switching to, the current resource manager is not tagged to that competency, in that case, you need to just provide a new resource manager for your selected competency. So let us go. We can also search by any resource manager if we have the details and can enter the name. So I'm choosing the new resource manager as Sai Kumar Vanagiri, and we can just go ahead and approve this request. So after this, this approval request will be routed to the new resource manager. So we can see that this is approved from the RNG team, and this can also be verified by again going back to the user's login, and we can refresh the screen and we can see that now the approval is pending from the new resource manager. So we just need to log in from the new resource manager's login. So I'll be logging in with the new resource manager, which is Sai Kumar Bonagiri. So we are logged in as the new resource manager. We'll just click on home, actions, and then skill approvals. So here also for this employee called Shrikant Reddy, the competency change request has been routed to the new resource manager. So we can just open the request. We can check in the details of the update competency request, and the new resource manager can approve it or reject it. So let us go ahead and approve this. And we can see that the competency change request is approved successfully. And the last role to approve this request finally before the competency updated for the employee in the backend is the talent management team. And this can also be verified by going back and again refreshing the screen for the user. So we can check the status here as well. So this is approval pending from talent management team. So let us go ahead and log in with the talent management team. So we are logged in with one of the users of the talent management team. We just click on home, actions, and then skill approvals. So we can see that a request has come from for TM's approval for Shrikant Reddy, and the request type is competency change. So we can just open the request. The talent management team can verify the details and can approve this request. So now this is updated, and we can go back to the employee and we can just refresh and expand the table. So we can see that the status has changed to approved. So the employee's request for updating their competency in the database has been approved. So the associated competency for this employee has been updated in the database. So this is how for any logged in user, you can go ahead and add primary skills, secondary skills, and also update competency for the user. Now in the next flow, what we have is how a project manager can go ahead and raise a request for adding a new competency to database or adding a new skill to database. So now we'll be logging in with the project manager. And we can expand the left-hand navigation panel and the project manager can click on my profiles. So here as well, we do have a skill and certification details. We can click on add new skill, and this add new competency option is only available to certain mapped roles, which has the right to add a new competency request, which is the PM. So now we can go ahead and click on add new competency. So whenever PM is raising a request for adding a new competency. This will be added to the database and will not be available anywhere in the front end for any of the users. So let us go ahead and enter a new competency. And this competency should not be an already existing competency in the database. So if the competency is already available in the database, then user will get an error and the PM will not be able to raise the new competency request. So we'll enter the new competencies Agile Coach and we can enter the business justification. So for example, this role is needed in the team for project manager. So project manager can request the addition of this competency and click on submit. After the request is submitted successfully, we can discard this form and we can expand the table and we can see that this request for adding a new competency, which is Agile Coach, has been sent for resource management group for approval. So we'll be logging in with the resource management group and we'll be seeing how we can go ahead and approve this request. So I'll be logging in with RMG. I click on login. I'll go to home, actions, and then skill approvals. So here we can see that the request type is new competency and the competency name is Agile. So all the details is available and the status approval pending from resource management group. So let's click on this request and open this. So the RMG team can review the information with the request date, employee name, who has raised this request, the competency which needs to be added in the business justification. And the RMG team can also enter the comments. So this is not a mandatory and they can even approve without entering the comments and they can also reject this if they don't want that the competency request which has been raised by the PM is suitable enough to be added to the database. So let us go ahead and click on approve for now so to see how the happy flow work and the request is approved successfully. Now again we can go back, refresh the PM's login and check where this is again routed to. So now this is approval pending from talent management team. So the flow for approving a new competency addition to database is flowing from RMG to talent management team. So we'll be logging in as the talent management team. And let us click on login. Now we are logged in as one of the members of the talent management team. So we'll click on actions and then skill approvals. So here also the request has been routed to talent management team and the request type is new competency. So we'll just open up the request and we can click on approve. And we can see that the request is approved successfully. Now we will be adding again to the PM's login and see. So in the grid, we can verify that the new addition of new competency request has been approved and this competency will be added in the database. Now the project manager again wants to add a new skill to database after adding a new competency, then this can be done by clicking on this add new skill button and we can see an option called add new skill to database. So just click on this option and we can see that if the project manager wants to raise a request for adding a new skill to an existing competency, this can be done by raising a request and this will be added to the database associated with this selected competency. So let us enter any value here. So let us tag it as SAP lead and we can choose the skill family as AI SAP functional. So the skill family is so the basis on the selection of competency, we can see that the skill family is updated to AI. Now we can also go ahead and choose the skill category. So in the AI skill family, where the competency is SAP functional and the skill category is SAP ECC, this new skill name will be added. And the PM can also enter the mandatory comments. So we'll be adding this, needs this skill to be added, and they can click on submit. So we can see that the skill request is submitted successfully and this is routed to the resource management group team for approval. So let us quickly go ahead and log in with RMG team and approve the request. We are logged in as RMG. You can click on Home, Actions, and then Skill Approvals. So we can see that the request type is new skill to database. So the PM has raised a request for adding a new skill to the database. So we'll just open this request and we can see that the skill name can be edited by the RMG team, and also they can update the skill category as well. And if they wishes to keep it as is, they can do it. So let us keep it as is for now. And they can either reject the request or approve it. So we'll just click on approve and the request is approved successfully. Now to check with this where this is routed to again, we can just go ahead and refresh the user's login, which is the project manager's login, and we can see that this is routed to the talent management team. And now we can go ahead and log in with talent management team and approve the new skill to database addition request. So we are logged in as one of the users of the TM team, and we can just click on home, actions, and then skill approvals. So here also in the talent management team's bucket, this new skill to database request has been routed, and we can just open the request, and the talent management team can verify all the details and can either reject this or approve this. So we just click on approve and we can see that the request is approved successfully. So now we'll again go back to the project manager's login and we can refresh the my profile view, and now we can expand the table and can see that the new skill to database request has been approved successfully. So this new skill has been added to the selected competency and will be mapped to this skill family competency and skill category. So this is how a project manager can raise a request for adding a new competency or adding a new skill to database. Now also we can go ahead and verify one more change which has been implemented in the My Project section for the project manager, which is related to the skill module. So once you navigate to My Projects, then there's also one more change which is part of the skill module, which is introduction of a new field called skill family in the resource loading plan. So we'll just click quickly open any one of the created projects which is like approved, and we can see how we can go ahead and quickly create a resource loading plan. So we'll see where the new field has been added. So this, since there is an already existing resource loading plan, so I'll just copy all the details from the existing plan, and now we can go ahead and check the skill family. So this skill family new field has been added in the resource loading plan screen. So based on your selection of skill group and competency, your value in the skill family will be populated. So since I've cancelled this, so the value in the skill family field become unavailable. So as soon as I choose any skill group or competency, the value in the skill family field will be auto fetched from the backend mapping of the skill family to this competency. And based on the selection of skill family and competency, you can go ahead and choose your category and you can just click on save. So after this resource loading plan is saved successfully, the request resource form as well. If you open this request resource form, here as well, all the details from the resource loading plan will be populated and this skill family field will be present here as well. So we can scroll down and we can see that the skill family has been introduced in the request resource form as well. And all the values will be carried forward from the resource loading plan in the request resource form. So that was it. How going ahead for a project manager, skill family field will be available in resource loading plan, and based on the selection of the value in resource loading plan, this will be reflected in the request resource form as well. So that was it in this video. Thank you.